Grandma saw the waitress, then whispered, "You have my daughter's eyes." Seconds later, the billionaire collapsed. The rain fell in soft, silver sheets over downtown Chicago, turning the evening into a blur of neon reflections and hurried footsteps. Inside the Maple Spoon, a cozy diner tucked between towering office buildings, 24-year-old Lily wiped down the counter with tired but steady hands. She had been working double shifts for weeks, ever since her foster mom's medical bills started piling up. Life hadn't been kind to her, but she never let it show in her smile, especially not to customers. At booth 7 sat an elderly woman in a cream-colored coat, her silver hair neatly pinned back, eyes sharp yet gentle. Beside her, a stern-looking man in a tailored suit, Richard Holloway, billionaire real estate tycoon, checked his watch impatiently. His grandmother, Eleanor, had insisted on this sentimental detour before their flight back to New York. Lily approached with 2 coffees. "Here you go, ma'am, and for you, sir." Eleanor looked up and froze. Her breath hitched. Her trembling hand reached out, not for the coffee, but for Lily's wrist. You have my daughter's eyes," she whispered, voice thick with emotion. Lily blinked, startled. I'm sorry?" Eleanor's eyes filled with tears. "Amelia, my Amelia. She disappeared 25 years ago, taken from the hospital just hours after she was born." Her voice cracked. "No one ever found her, no trace, but your eyes. They're exactly like hers, like mine." Lily's heart pounded. She'd grown up in the foster system, never knowing her birth parents. She'd always wondered, but dared not hope. Before she could respond, Richard scoffed. "Grandma, please, not this again. You see her everywhere. It's grief talking." But Eleanor wouldn't let go. "Look at her, Richard, really look." Richard sighed, turning to Lily with cold detachment, then froze. His sharp gaze softened, then shattered. Because he saw it too. The curve of her brow, the way she tilted her head when confused, the exact shade of hazel in her eyes. His sister's eyes. His long-lost twin. "No," he breathed. And then, without warning, his face went pale. He clutched his chest, gasped, and collapsed onto the diner floor. Chaos erupted. Lily screamed for an ambulance. Eleanor sobbed, clutching her grandson's hand. Within minutes, paramedics rushed in, defibrillator in hand. The diagnosis, a massive heart attack, likely triggered by extreme emotional shock. At the hospital, Lily refused to leave. She sat beside Richard's ICU bed while Eleanor held her hand like she was afraid she'd vanish. "He's stable now," the doctor said gently, "but he needs peace and family." Eleanor turned to Lily, tears streaming. "You are Amelia. I know it in my bones." DNA tests confirmed it the next morning. Amelia Holloway, believed lost forever, had been taken by a desperate nurse who couldn't have children of her own. She'd raised Lily with love, but passed away when Lily was 16, leaving her alone once more. Richard woke up 2 days later, weak, pale, but alive. And when he saw Lily standing by his bedside, he didn't speak. He just reached for her hand and wept. In the weeks that followed, the Holloway family unraveled decades of grief and guilt. Richard, once cold and driven by power, began to soften. He funded Lily's nursing school dreams. He visited her foster mom in the hospital, covering every bill without hesitation. And Eleanor, she baked Lily her favorite apple pie every Sunday, just like she'd imagined doing for her granddaughter all those years. But the real miracle wasn't the reunion, it was the transformation. Richard sold half his empire, donating the proceeds to missing children's organizations. He started a foundation in Amelia's name, dedicated to reuniting families torn apart by tragedy. And Lily, she became its first ambassador, using her story to give hope to thousands. One evening, as they sat on Eleanor's porch watching the sunset, Richard turned to Lily and said, "I spent my life building walls. You tore them down with a single smile."
Lily squeezed his hand. We found each other just in time. And in that quiet moment, under a sky painted gold and violet, a family healed, not because of wealth or power, but because a grandmother saw love in a stranger's eyes and refused to look away. If this story moved you, please like, comment, and share, because every act of kindness ripples further than we know. And don't forget to subscribe to ACA Storytales, your home for heartfelt stories that remind us we're never truly alone. Thanks for watching.